Good morning, students!
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, let's start the session with a prayer. Let us all bow our heads and feel the presence of the Lord. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. Miss Secretary, who are the absentees?
None, ma'am.
Oh, that's good to hear that everybody is present today. Now, may I just remind everybody to always please switch on your cameras, always mute your microphones, and use your hand raising reaction button if you want to answer in order for you to be recognized. Is that clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po.
Okay, now let us all breathe in, breathe out, and say to yourself, I can do this.
I can do
I
this.
can do this.
One more time, I can do this.
I can
I
do
can do
this.
this.
That's the energy. Now, what have we discussed last meeting? Yes, Blossom?
Last meeting, we discussed about the organization of data using the frequency distribution table.
Correct. But what about it? What have you learned from it?
I think, ma'am, I have learned that the frequency table is constructed as we assigned values of interval for the whole data, ma'am.
Wow, it seems that you've already mastered the topic. So by that, I want to give all of you a good job clap. Do you know the good job clap?
No, ma'am.
Okay, the good job clap is done in this manner. GOODJOB, good job. Good job. GOODJOB, good job. Now everybody. GOODJOB, good job. Good job. GOODJOB, good job.
Good job. Good job.
That's a good job, students. Now, how do you feel right now? Right now, I'm feeling very happy because I have the opportunity to meet amazing people like you. But how about you, students? How do you feel right now? To answer that, I want you to go to your browsers and search for menti.com and use the code 15094245. That is again 15094245 and choose the response that best describes your feeling today. If you are done, I want you to go back to your Zoom meeting screens. Are you done, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, flash in your screen is something. Now, can you describe what's in your screen? Yes, Sophie?
Graph.
Okay, this is a graph, but it has what it has?
It has bars, ma'am.
Okay, it has bars on it. Now, if this graph has bars on it, then what do we call this graph then?
Ma'am,
Yes, Blossom.
since it has bars on it, it is called as a bar graph.
Okay, this is a bar graph, but what information can we get from this graph? Yes, Sophie?
Kung ano yung feeling right now.
Oh, okay. It tells us about our feeling today, but what do you think are the uses of this graph? Yes, Blossom?
I think, ma'am, it is used to visualize the information of the feeling.
Okay, we will check if your answers are correct later. But you are right, this is a bar graph, and bar graph is one of the graphical presentations that we will learn this morning because our topic is all about graphical presentation. Now, from our activity a while ago, how can you now define graphical presentation? Yes, Blossom?
For me, ma'am, graphical representation refers to the use of graph and charts to visually interpret data.
Okay, thank you for that, Blossom. That is correct. Because in our book, it is defined as a visual presentation of quantitative data for easier analysis. You are correct because a while ago you've made mention the word visual. So that is correct. Now, students, this means that graphical presentation is used instead of numerical number to present information. Now, students, for your own preference, would you prefer to use numbers to understand something or you prefer more using images or graphs? Yes, Sophie.
I prefer images po kasi mas madaling nauunawaan.
Very good, Sophie. That is correct. So graphical presentation provides us with visualization. And when something is visualized, understanding will come next and analysis is easier. So are there still questions about graphical presentation?
None, ma'am.
Okay, now let's proceed. A while ago, you've met already bar graph. How can you now define bar graph? Yes, Blossom?
I think, ma'am, bar graphs are also a graphical representation using bars and vertical and horizontal bars.
Okay, that is correct. Now, bar graph can be seen as vertical or horizontal. So this is a vertical bar graph and this is a horizontal bar graph. But aside from that, it is said in your book that it is used for comparison of categorical data. When we see categorical data, what does it mean? Yes, Sophie?
I don't know po.
Okay, but categorical data came from the word category. Now, what do we mean by category? Would you want to help, Blossom?
Yes, ma'am. For me, category means group.
Precisely, that is correct. Graphical or categorical data came from the word category, which means groupings. And that is correct. Categorical data is the data wherein we can divide them into groups. Just like, for example, people, we can divide them in terms of their educational attainment, sex, or religious affiliation. So a while ago in this activity, is our emotion a categorical data?
Yes, ma'am.
How can you say so?
Because it divided our class.
Okay, that is correct. We've divided the class in terms of our emotion this morning, and by that, this is a categorical data. And from this graph, what information can we now infer? That a lot of us is feeling blessed this morning. Isn't it correct?
Yes, ma'am.
po.
Now, to better understand bar graph, let's take a look at this example. This table shows the top 5 countries with the highest COVID-19 cases. Now, I want to call your attention to the source of this information, which is the World Health Organization. Now, is the World Health Organization a valid or reliable source of information? Yes,
Yes,
Sophie?
it's a valid.
Wow,
Yes, it's valid. Sorry.
correct. But why? Yes, Blossom?
I think, ma'am, WHO released valid information because they are the governing body of global health. So basically, they first verified it through different researches.
Perfect. WHO is the international governing body in terms of our health, and since pandemic or the COVID-19 is a global health issue, then we can assure that the World Health Organization have done a lot of researches before posting something on their websites, and by that, we can assure that their data is accurate. Now, students, in this time of pandemic, information is power. So I encourage everyone to be vigilant about the consumption of their information. Now, going back to our topic, students, is this now a categorical data?
Yes, ma'am.
Why? Yes, Sophie?
Because it categorized the countries with highest COVID-19 cases.
Amazing. That is correct. We've categorized this data in terms of their nationality, which is represented by their country. So meaning to say, this is a categorical data. And when we're dealing with categorical data, what is the best graph that we'll use to present them? It is the
Bar graph, ma'am.
bar graph. Very good. Now turning this graph into bar graph, we'll arrive to this graphical presentation. Can we now easily find or detect what is the country with the highest COVID-19 cases? It is the
Yes, ma'am. The USA.
very good, the USA. Now, this means that the USA ranks 1 of all the countries with the highest COVID-19 cases. Now, students, which is easier to use for comparing information? Is it the information using tabular form or the information using the graphical form?
It's the graphical form, ma'am.
Very good, it's the graphical form. Now, from that information, we can see that the pandemic is fastly spreading. So by that, let's all practice safety measures as per mentioned by the IATF protocol, which are wear a face mask, washing of our hands regularly, and staying 6 feet apart. Now, are there still questions about bar graphs?
None, ma'am.
Let's proceed. Now, I want to volunteer.
Ma'am.
Yes, Blossom. Do you watch K-drama?
Yes, ma'am.
I bet last community quarantine, you have this what we call the K-drama binge watching. Now, would you mind if you share to the class how many K-dramas have you watched last March?
5 K-dramas.
Okay, 5 K-dramas. How about for April?
3 K-dramas, ma'am.
3 K-dramas. Now, how about for May?
10 K-dramas, ma'am.
Wow, that's a lot of K-dramas. Now, students, what information can you get from this graph? Yes, Sophie?
Kung gaano po ma'am karami yung napanood po ni Miss Blossom in terms of months.
Precisely, that is correct. What do you think now are the uses of this kind of graph? Yes, Blossom?
I think, ma'am, it is used to show the varying number of K-dramas that I watch per month.
Okay, we'll check if your answers are correct. So you are correct that this graph is what we call the line graph because it has lines on it. But it is used to see the change of one value over a period of time. Now, in that particular example, we use months as an indicator of the time. So meaning to say, since we already have time as an indicator of that factor or that value, we will use the line graph. Now, to better understand line graph, let's have this example. Now, first, I want to call your attention to the product on your screen. What is this product, students?
Pili
Ma'am,
na.
it's a pili nut.
Very good. It's a pili nut. Have you eaten one?
Yes, ma'am.
Of course, ma'am. Favorite.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, pili nut is a product of Bicol region. And as a Bicolano, we must patronize our own local products. Let's buy local and patronize what is in our region. Let's proceed. This table shows the yearly Richard Sweet Pili Nut sale. Now, we can see that there is time involved, right? So
Yes,
when there is
ma'am.
time involved, we will use what graph?
A line graph, ma'am.
Very good, the line graph. Now, turning this table into line graph, we can see the change of values over the period of time. And from this, what information can we get? Yes, Blossom.
From this graph, ma'am, we can get the information of the annual sale of Richard Sweet Pili Nut.
Okay, so we can also see, that is correct, but we can also see that Richard Sweet Pili Nut sale is declining here in this part from 2018 to 2019, but it is slowly getting back to its feet in the year 2021. Are there still questions about line graph?
Wala po.
No questions? Let's have a review. Today, we've learned about graphical presentation. Now, what is again graphical presentation? Yes, Blossom?
Ma'am, a graphical presentation is a chart or graph that we use to present data.
That is correct. Today, we've learned about 2 graphical presentations. What are they? Yes, Sophie?
These are the line graph and the bar graphs.
Okay, that is correct. Now, what is the difference between the 2? Yes, Blossom?
Bar graph uses bars while line graph uses lines.
Okay, bar graph uses bars and line graphs uses lines. But aside from that, what have we learned? The total difference of the 2.
Ma'am, the bar graph shows the categorical data. A line graph is used to present value over.
Okay, that is correct. We use bar graph if we want to compare categorical data. And for the line graph, we will use it if and only if we want to see changes over the period of time. Now, are there still questions?
None, ma'am.
Okay, let's have a group work. Through your breakout rooms, I will divide the class into 3 groups. Now, I want you to choose your leader and reporter. For the first group, you will make a Venn diagram differentiating line graph and bar graph. Be creative as possible. Now, for groups 2 and 3, you will be given a data and you will choose the appropriate graph to present them graphically. Now, for 5 minutes, you will do this activity and after that, you're going to present it to the class. Is that clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, breakout rooms are already set. Enjoy solving! Excellent, everyone! Now for your assessment, in Microsoft Word, answer the following problems with the use of the format flash in your screens. Search for the following topics and use the appropriate graphs for each. First, the Rinconadas COVID-19 active cases for 3 months. Number 2, Region 5's provincial death rates due to COVID-19 as for the year 2021. And the last one is the temperature of the Earth for the last 5 years. Are there questions, students?
None, ma'am.
If you're already done, submit it to me in my email account flashed in your screens. For your assignment, in Microsoft Word, answer the following question with the very same format. First, what is a pi graph, histogram, or an OGIF? When can we only use a pi graph, a histogram, or an OGIF? Excellent, everyone. For the last time, let's give ourselves big good job clap. GWODJOB, good job.
Good job. Good job. GWODJOB, good job. Good job.
Good job.
That's a good job, students. Now, thank you for being with me. See you next meeting. Have a great day ahead. Bye.